Massimo Rivola has a week to win an argument that has nothing to do with going faster. Before MotoGP's riders roll out at Brno for the first 850cc test, the Aprilia boss wants a fourth Italian forced onto a team that is not even his to pick. The public reason sounds almost noble. Ducati will field its first ever all-Spanish factory lineup, so Aprilia answers with an all-Italian wall and plants a flag in Borgo Panigale's face. Clean, patriotic, also not what is really happening. So why is Aprilia leaning this hard on a customer team that already said no? And who gets thrown off the grid to make the flag look right? And the clock is the cruel part. Once a rider straps into an RSGP at Brno on that Monday, the seat is effectively spoken for, and there is no quiet way to walk it back before next season's machines are locked in. So this is not really about one name on one contract. It is about who Aprilia wants to be in 2027, whether a satellite team is allowed to choose the riders it actually pays for, and whether a man who just beat the entire grid keeps his job. 3 different fights, 1 deadline, and almost nobody is talking about the part that decides it. Start with what Aprilia wants you to see. Here is the picture Aprilia is selling. Francesco Bagnaia and Marco Bezzecchi anchor the factory team. Enea Bastianini and Luca Marini fill the satellite seats at Trackhouse. 4 Italians on Aprilia machinery, built in Noale, owned by an Italian group, lined up against a Ducati that will run Marc Marquez and Pedro Acosta, 2 Spaniards with no Italian in the factory box. As a headline, it writes itself. As a story about national pride reclaiming Italian racing, it is almost too neat. But there is a problem buried in the neatness, and it sits at Trackhouse. Trackhouse do not want Luca Marini. The team would rather keep the rider it already has, Raul Fernandez, the Spaniard who has spent this season making their garage look like the smartest in the paddock, weekend after weekend. Aprilia is not offering Trackhouse a favour here. Aprilia is overruling a team that has already made its choice, and the rider being shown the door did nothing to earn it except be born in the wrong country. That last part is where the polite version starts to fall apart. To understand why this is a fight and not a formality, you have to understand how Trackhouse actually works. They are not a B team that races whoever Aprilia hands them. They are the project of an American owner, Justin Marks, who arrived from NASCAR with his own sponsors, signs his own riders, and pays for them. That kind of self-funded independence is rare on a MotoGP grid, where satellite squads usually ride whoever the factory sends them, and it is exactly what Aprilia is now leaning on. Team principal Davide Brivio has been blunt about the split. To be very honest, without going around, it's just a matter that Aprilia is not keen to contract other riders, he said, before adding the line that says everything about who holds the checkbook. I think they used all their budget for Martin and Bezzecchi. They had no budget left. So when Aprilia pushes Marini toward Trackhouse, it is not paying for him. It is asking an independent team to spend its own money on a rider it did not ask for, and to bin the one it did. And here is the part everyone arguing about flags keeps stepping around. The rider Aprilia wants to remove is the fastest one they have got. At Mugello, on Ducati's home weekend, Raul Fernandez won the sprint and led an Aprilia 1-2, with the factory's own Jorge Martin trailing him across the line. Luca Marini, one of the Italians being lined up to take his place, finished 13th. Enea Bastianini, the other, was in the gravel. Sit with that for a second. The Spaniard they want gone beat every Italian they want in, and he did it on the Aprilia, on the most Italian weekend of the year, and that was not a one-off. For years, Raul Fernandez carried the label of the talent who never delivered, the Moto2 prodigy who reached MotoGP on a wave of hype and then went quiet. This season, he stopped going quiet. The breakout Aprilia spent 4 years waiting for has finally arrived, and the plan on the table is to give his seat away the same year it showed up. So if it is not about speed, what is it about? Rivola has said the quiet part himself. Asked whether he would like Aprilia to become a kind of Italian national team, he did not dodge it. I'd certainly like that. I'd like it to be seen that way, he said. Having all Italian riders would be great, including Lorenzo Savadori, our test rider, and Noala itself, with its history of 54 world titles. It is a lovely sentiment. It is also an admission. The deciding factor he is reaching for is not the stopwatch. It is the passport. And the timing could not be worse for Aprilia, because Raul Fernandez is not sitting in that garage begging to stay. He has signed nothing for 2027, and there is a door open behind him. Tech3, the team now driven by Guenther Steiner, wants him back, and wants him badly. Yes, that Tech3, the same stable where he spent a miserable rookie year in 2022, where he arrived not even wanting to be in MotoGP, and where KTM eventually called the circus around him a disaster, while insisting they had done everything for him. That history should have shut the door for good. Steiner is reaching past it anyway, because a rider who wins sprints is worth swallowing almost anything for. So Aprilia is not choosing between Raul and Marini in a vacuum. It is deciding whether to hand a proven race winner, frustrated and available, straight to a rival on the grid. This was never really about beating Ducati. A flag does not beat anyone on Sunday. People thought this was Italian pride reclaiming its sport from a Spanish takeover. It is actually a manufacturer spending two things it cannot easily replace: the loyalty of the rare satellite team that funds itself and the talent of the quickest rider in its stable to win a press release, a headline with the lifespan of a news cycle. Ducati went all Spanish and let the racing make the argument. Aprilia is going all Italian and asking you not to look at the lap times. So what happens in the next week? Two ways this can go. In the first, Aprilia gets its wall. The Brno test allows only 2 riders per factory, and at least one must be a regular. So handing one of those slots to Marini would be the seat tipping over in real time. The 4 Italian photo goes out. The marketing team gets its moment, and a quicker rider walks while a satellite team learns its choices, its money, its judgment were always decorative. In the second, and this is the one the paddock should fear for Aprilia, the deadline does what deadlines do. Raul, told he is not wanted, takes the Tech3 lifeline. Trackhouse, overruled on its own roster, starts asking why it pays Aprilia's bills at all, and the flag that was supposed to wound Ducati ends up cutting the hand that planted it. The cleanest version of this story is also the most dangerous one, because the fast option and the Italian option are not the same rider, and Aprilia has about a week to choose. Rivola asked for an all-Italian Aprilia. The real question is whether he is building a statement or sabotaging a season. So tell me, would you bench a sprint winner just to wave a flag? Let us know in the comments below. And once you do that, make sure to click on the video appearing on your screen right now.